According to a new poll, almost half of parents have taken their children out of school to go on holiday, with nearly 2/3 saying that holidays are too expensive in term time. So is it a good excuse to allow a child to miss school? Do they gain these wonderful life experiences that probably will outweigh anything they can learn in school in those final few days of a term?
Do you know what? I don't even know if it's about, life experiences. Some of them are, obviously, if they're going to far away places with different cultures and that. But I think a lot of parents do it is because if they wait that extra week till school finishes or extra 2 weeks, the prices have tripled.
Yeah. They just don't go. You can't go.
And to be honest with you, I mean, really true. It's not just gone up £100. Sometimes it's gone up. If you've got 2 kids and 2 adults, it can go up 2 or 3 grand in out of school time. So I kind of get why they do it, and certainly, and I'm not saying that school isn't important. Of course it is, but I think that I didn't do it when mine went into secondary school. But I have to say there was times leading up to the summer, so the last week of school, where they're just colouring in or they're just playing games or whatever, in primary school, where I'd think, do you know what, it'll be fine. And I used to ask the head teacher as well. But also I know a lot of people do it and go, do you know what, the fine is less than what it will cost me to go.
But don't you think that if you take your kids out of school, all the other kids that are in the class see some kids being taken out, and it makes it that much harder for the other parents to get their kids to go to school if within their class 2 or 3 kids have dropped out? And also, there is a kind of trend at the moment for parents to think they know better than schools. So there's a rise in homeschooling, which I know, it's quite a controversial thing. There's a rise in parents saying, well, I know that what I'm going to do with my kids is going to be more interesting than what they're going to do in this last few weeks of term. And I just think, well, either you want school to educate your child or you don't. And also, the teachers teaching your children have to have their holidays, and a lot of them have got their own families. They don't have choice. They can't say 2 weeks before the end of term, hey, it's going to cost double to take my kids on holiday, so get on with it, I'm going away to Disneyland.
But Janet, if you had a child, though, if you knew that you could save £500 by taking a kid, or £1,000 by taking a kid out of school 2 days earlier, would you do it?
No, I would not do it. Because I value my education and every day that I spent in school.
Yeah, but 2 days colouring in primary school.
Yeah, if you think that you know better than teachers, why aren't you a teacher?
I sometimes think I do know better than teachers.
Yes,
I'm the parent. Sometimes I genuinely do. Well, I'm the parent, I know my kid, and I think 2 days, I know what they're doing. I mean, I've taken my child out, and I did write to the teacher, and the teacher actually looked at the attendance and the record and said, Saira, actually, we think Zach will be fine. You know, it's great. But you know what annoys me is private schools finish well in advance of the schools, before the prices go up. So the people who can actually afford to send their kids to private school, they actually can take advantage of all those cheap flights, whereas the people that really need it, as soon as their kids are off, the prices go through the roof. That's really unfair.
Look, it's really unfair, but you're a businesswoman. You know full well that you cannot control the holiday and travel market. The government can't suddenly bring in rules and force travel operators and people running hotels. They can't control the pricing structure.
Everything else.
I know, but
Janet, I am a businesswoman, but I think sometimes you have to put your morals before profits.
Yes.
And there are lots of really hard-working families in this country that absolutely save their...
Do you want the government to bring in some kind of holiday law? Because they're bringing in laws about everything else, upskirting and everything else. Why don't they just bring in a holiday law?
Where there is a will, there is a way. And I'm not saying it for everybody, but I do think taking your kids out a couple of days, primary school...
It's the thin end of the wedge.
I took Kira out when she was at primary. I think she was 7, and we did our reunion tour, me and my sisters. And it was like 4 weeks, and I didn't want to leave Kira for 4 weeks. And I went and spoke to the headmistress, and she was really good. She said, listen, I think she's going to get... You're visiting all these different cities. I think she's going to get great life experience. So all I would ask her to do is I want a whole project done about it, of each place she's been to, so she's still learning.
Perfect.
And I thought that's fair enough.
There's like a common sense approach to it, I guess. We asked you at home, is it okay to take children out of school for a holiday? 86% of you said yes. 14, of course, then said no. But generally similar to what you just said, Sue here says if they're at primary school, I don't think it's a problem. If they're at secondary school and have exams, obviously no. Ian has said in Japan, they're happy for children to go on holiday during school times, as it's seen as a good cultural experience for children to have holidays. So, as you say, if there's a project or something, potentially, Janet.
But I do agree with Janet as well.
Yeah.
That, schools are very, very important. But I think it's child, and parents involved with the teachers, and I think you have to look at the whole case.
Yeah, the whole case, exactly.